What is up, guys? Welcome back to Seed Invaders podcast. Welcome back, I guess I should say. Episode 416. All of us again. We're still all representing. I'm Chad. I introduce myself intermittently. We've learned this by now. It's still happening. It probably will always happen because I'm a professional. This is professional.
Whoa.
Totally
Okay,
fresh.
right. We have Mr. Brad from Canada tonight who keeps cookies in his pocket.
Oh,
I do.
Okay.
That's how you calm down dogs and attract women.
It's true.
Yes. Okay.
I
True.
understood
It's a
that
movie.
reference.
It just hit me because I'm slow. Good Lord, help me tonight, everyone, help me.
Oh, wait. Sorry. How's it going, eh?
Oh, yes.
There you go.
We need to ask, how's it going, eh? We also have Mr. Coach.
Catchphrase pending.
Okay, right. After all that foreplay, we finally started, guys. I don't think this is struggle bus, but this was struggle to get started bus. We couldn't shut up. So.
We
Slow
always need a
starter,
little bit
strong
of
finisher.
lubrication.
Right. Yep. That's it. And also the lovely and beautiful Miss Carly. How are you, Miss Carly?
That's great. Always great to be back.
Good. Okay. I love it. All right. Tonight, of course, we're going to hit you with what we watched this week. And then tonight, you didn't know this about us, but we are certified experts on the Oscars. So later in the show, we're going to talk about all the nominees, what we want to win, and what we think is going to win. So definitely stay around for that. But first, I'm going to get us started with what I watched for this week. And it's been a light couple of weeks for me before this, but I went to the movies 3 times this week. I felt like I was back on my game. And starting Monday night, I went to my very first ever AMC Scream Unseen. They do Screen Unseen and Scream Unseen. So basically, they just give you a rating for the movie, an approximate runtime, and you're going into a movie blindly. Even the staff, supposedly, from what they say, does not know what the movie is. And since it was a Scream Unseen, which means horror or horror adjacent, there was no way I was going to miss this one because there are several horror movies that are imminent that I'm very excited for. And much to my delight, when this movie started, it was Companion, which I have been dying to see. This is written and directed by Drew Hancock and stars Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid. And I had seen the first trailer for this, and then unfortunately, I saw the second trailer for this, which gives away way too much about this. So I'm going to preface this. I preface this by saying, just don't watch the trailers, guys. It just is insistent on giving away pretty much everything about it. And even with that, though, I found this movie to be incredibly fun. I'm not going to spoil anything here tonight, so I'm going to tread very lightly with this. This almost played for me like a feature-length Black Mirror episode, kind of. It's about a group of friends who go to a secluded home in the woods for a weekend. And then nefarious things start to happen. And like I said, this is like a Black Mirror episode. It's quite funny. It's exciting. It's fun. And it is pretty violent. This is not, to me, horror at all. This definitely has more of like a sci-fi-ish sort of touch to it and thriller. Horror, maybe just from the perspective of like there is a pretty good amount of violence. But I found this movie to be incredibly fun. Sophie Thatcher was just in Heretic, and I thought she was great in that.
Mm-hmm.
And she absolutely carries this movie. She is the main focus of this movie, and she's excellent. I loved her performance in this, and she's asked to do a lot here. Like, she has a lot on her shoulders as far as what was written for her, and as you get reveals about her character and all that kind of stuff. And then Jack Quaid is Jack Quaid.
I love Jack Quaid.
I like him too.
I honestly, I've always liked Jack Quaid, and anything that I've seen him in, he's got a new movie coming out. I love him so much I can't remember the name, but yeah, he does a lot of good voice work.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Novocaine. That's right. I think that's probably based on a comic or something, because
I mean, it
seems
like,
very
what's it
comic-y.
called?
I think Jack Quaid
Kick Ass.
Contractually obligated to be in comic book properties. Between The Boys, he's the voice of the new Superman and that animated thing, and now this. So yeah, I like Jack Quaid though.
I think he's always very charming. I think he's very charismatic. And I do think he is kind of the same person all the time, but that doesn't really bother me with him because I like him and I like the character that he kind of is.
That's my
all the
dream
time.
job, man. That's my dream job. Somebody
Just to be the same.
just to cast, just to cast me. I need you. Okay,
Just
so do
be
I
your
need any
winning
research? No, just be
personality.
you. Like for
Yeah.
It's
what?
like Keanu Reeves, only
just be you,
the different version.
you, and we're gonna give you a lot of money just to be you. And
All
there's
right.
a camera.
He's kind of like a masculine
free.
version of Jesse Eisenberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
I can
is a
see that for
masculine
sure.
version of Jesse Eisenberg. That's right. I like that. Sorry, Jesse. You're a great actor.
Great actor.
Right. I like
gonna-
Jesse Eisenberg. I think he's good.
Yeah.
You're
And
gonna
Jack
play
Quaid again.
Jack
is good.
Quaid's clone in Twins. The next
Okay,
Twins
right. Oh
movie.
my God, help. But yeah, he's very good here. And I found this to be just such a blast. It's such a fun ride. It's very twisty, very turny, very funny, very darkly funny. And even going in kind of knowing some of where this is going, I still found there to be some like pretty valuable, like little twists, like plot twists and things that I didn't quite expect. And it's just so much fun to watch this play out and go for this ride. So again, avoid this trailer, guys, if you can, unless you don't care. But yeah, this is definitely recommended for me. I think this actually comes out nationwide starting tonight, or like this weekend is like the big, like wide release for it. So
I actually have tickets for it next week.
Oh, let's go. You'll like, I
Yeah.
think you'll definitely like it, Coach. I recommend this for you too. Like I said, this is not horror. Carly, I think you would have a great time with this. It's
Okay,
just
good.
kind of a light, fluffy, good time at the movies. And my crowd, like I had probably, I think they were showing it in 2 theaters that night. One was sold out, so I don't know the temperature of that one. But mine, I would say, was about 75% full. And the crowd was very engaged with this movie. Lots of laughs, lots of like just engagement with the movie as it went on. And I'm sure some people probably did go into this truly blind. And you could tell like the moments that they wanted to hit as twists and shit really hit for the people. And it seemed like everybody had a good time. I didn't talk to anyone about it after, but you could just feel that like good natured feeling in the theater. Like people weren't making fun of it or laughing at it. It was like, it is
That's
funny.
good. They were
laughing
in
with
on
it
the
and-
joke. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
they were
that.
having a great time.
That's cool.
So Companion, highly recommended, guys, for sure.
Can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you'll enjoy it for sure. Next for me, finally, after all this fucking time, after all this time, all I bitched about forever is to see The Brutalist. And when I went to the AMC Scream Unseen, yes, I saw that before The Brutalist, even though The Brutalist was playing, but that was a one night only type of thing. So I was like, I kind of don't want to miss this opportunity, and I'm just going to do that and then make sure I see The Brutalist like the next day, which is what I did. Directed by Brady Corbet and starring Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce. What they say is true. This is a long film.
Does it feel like it?
For me, it did not. I found
Okay.
this incredibly engrossing, engaging all the way through. The coach has already discussed this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but it is an immigrant story about a man who comes to America and is sort of, in a lot of ways, like used and abused by the system, kind of.
Exploited.
Yes, in some ways, yes, for sure. There's some gray area with some of that, but it's a fascinating take, and this also involves, and I'm not going to count this as a spoiler. I don't think it really is, but there's also a drug addiction problem that is part of this story. And I thought that was handled so incredibly well here because it's not some like big prominent focus. It's just a fact, not a statement.
It's a
About
part of your
him.
life, not a defining.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
life.
Oh, good.
And Adrian Brody is absolutely insanely good here.
I love him.
Mhm.
He's
Guy
never
Pearce.
done- I don't know if Adrian Brody's ever done like a really bad performance, but honestly, I can't think of him doing anything as far as like an exceptional performance either. So it's kind of like a very like mechanic. He does the job very well, but it's just I can't think of anything. I've never seen The Brutalist because it's 3 hours, and that's never gonna happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 3.5 or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You're
My
like,
attention
absolutely
span.
not. Miss me with all of that runtime, please.
well, come on, man. Nothing plays around here. So if the one thing plays that's 3 hours long, sorry, it still doesn't. But no, I think he's a very serviceable actor. But
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of one of those Hey, cool. There he is.
Listen,
Whatever.
He takes
No, I'm kidding.
yeah, he takes big
he's a whatever.
swings. I like that he's hooked up with was it Paul Thomas Anderson now? So he was like, I loved him in the Darjeeling Limited.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like a staple now of that crew of actors. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
they
good
get
for
in
him.
their
He
own
takes
little
big
flicks and
swings.
stuff.
Yeah, his best performance was Predators.
Yeah, totally.
I have not
Just
seen
kidding.
that, actually, interestingly enough.
He's actually good in it, but it's not his best
It's a
performance.
shit
It's fun.
movie.
It's a
It's
fun
a
movie.
shit movie,
It is a
and he's
fun
good in it.
shit movie.
Okay,
Yes,
right, there
very,
it is.
very
Shit
fun, very
movie.
shit.
Yes, loved
But
it.
yeah, it's like I said,
The
his
third
best
best
performance-
Predators movie.
his best performance in Predators kind of just tells you that okay, yeah, he did
Okay,
good.
right. But yeah, here I thought he was magnetic, amazing. He's asked to do a lot.
That's
He's
great.
asked. He's so emotional and so raw and so vulnerable, and just just a hell of a performance for sure. We'll definitely talk about this more as we talk about Oscar stuff a little bit later. And Felicity Jones, who doesn't come into this film until after intermission, so this film does have a proper intermission. From what I understand now, after looking at this, some theaters, like I think maybe the intention of the film was for it to go to black for a couple of minutes, and then a 15-minute thing pops up.
Yep.
Well, mine just went directly to a still photo, 15-minute, and that was that. I got up. I think I was happy. I was like, I have to pee, bitch. And it's got to be
Break time.
It would have to be something like a desperate situation for me to get up in the middle of a movie at the theater and go and pee. Like I would have to be like about to piss my pants, because I'm not doing that. I'm not missing that. So I was thankful for the intermission here. And I thought the first half of this, and it does seem to be very solidly split, like basically right in half, like about an hour and 40 minutes. You get intermission, 15-minute intermission, then you have about an hour and 40 minutes left. And I think a lot of people have a problem with post intermission, where I did not. Yeah, you did. I liked it. I thought, like you said, it does move a little bit quickly, maybe through things, but I found it extremely engaging. My biggest issue came with the epilogue, which I thought was strange, and it felt unnecessary and tacked on. It's not long.
Well, it's 3 hours long.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
The epilogue too. Come on.
well, the epilogue
Building
added
the lily
nothing.
here.
Do we really need that? No.
I thought this was basically about perfect, this film, until that epilogue. And I mean, it doesn't
Okay.
detract a ton, but it just was like 5 to 10 minutes of stuff that just was not necessary.
Mhm.
And I was just like, that was a choice. Like, why did you all do that? Because it just added nothing to this experience, I didn't think.
Yeah.
But
What do
overall,
you think of the score?
the score is incredible. It's instantly memorable, instantly recognizable. And I think it will be now once you've seen it. And it plays such a vital role in this movie. Like, this is example of score truly like fitting and like enhancing the film. Yeah, it's a character, just like Challenger's score, in my opinion, was a character. I mean, it's not electronic like Challenger's, but this is just as important as Challenger's was. So yeah, this is a huge recommend for me if you can handle the runtime. And I think this is something, I think it's beautifully shot in VistaVision. I think it is a hell of a thing to see on the big screen. It's just what they pulled off for this smaller budget. Like, I've seen anywhere from 10 to 15 million as the budget for this. Either of those numbers is kind of like shocking, because it's just a stunning movie. And
They did it for what craft service cost the Marvel.
Facts. Big facts. But yeah, this is a huge recommend from me. And I am curious to see how this plays in award season. I don't know. I don't necessarily
We'll
have
crunch
super
the
high
math.
Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, that's it. Exactly that. But yeah, recommended for me, guys. See The Brutalist. If you dare, I guess. Like, if you dare, right?
Yes,
But it really truly for me, I thought it was engaging, and like it never
dare you
lost
to
my
see
interest.
this fucking movie.
Okay, right. And that's almost like what he is kind of doing in a way. Like, yeah, I made the longest fucking movie ever. Well, not ever, but like I made a long ass movie, and I dare you to sit through it and just take it. And
what was the Martin Scorsese movie that came out
Killers
recently?
of the Flower Moon.
Oh no, before that. What was there
Irishman?
was another
Silence?
Yeah, The Irishman. No, that was what it
Yeah.
was. Okay.
And that was basically like a direct to home video thing, I mean, for Netflix. So that might be more palatable for people. This is not going to be a popular movie by any means.
Bad CGI.
Aw.
It was like me and 3 like 50 somethings in the theater, and that was all that saw it that day. So.
Okay.
And then today, it was just me in the theater for this one. And this is the new Steven Soderbergh movie, Presence. I like him a lot. He's hit or miss. He's made like 50 movies. So like, of course, it's been a little bit hit or miss. But this was something that really had me interested. They're marketing it as a horror film.
I heard that.
I would struggle to call it a horror film.
Right.
I think it is more like a supernatural drama, like mystery. But everything, it's a one location thing set inside this house, and the entirety of this movie is told from the perspective of a ghost that lives inside this house. And you just watch this family basically move in. You pick up on their family dramas. You get little bits and pieces of information of things as this ghost moves around the house until things start to come more into focus about what exactly this ghost is doing there and what its purpose is and all of that. And I found this to be very interesting. Certainly not scary. This is not a scary film by any means, but it does get quite fucked up. And more fucked up than what I was expecting it to. Because you get little tidbits of information. You're not sure exactly where this story is going to take you. Because there's something going on with the mom. There's something going on with like a couple of girls in the town. And all this kind of stuff. And it's like, which direction is this going to take? And once you start to see where that's going, like it does get to a pretty fucked up like ending. That unfortunately to me felt at times just a touch on the silly side. But that was really from a performance perspective of a certain character.
Gotcha.
And I definitely don't want to give away what this is about or what it leads to or any of that. Because this is what the whole film like builds to, basically.
So like I spoiled it and read it, and it reads awesome.
Oh, the performance.
But the translation isn't that great.
Well, just the
performance, like you said,
when you see like the beats of the story laid out, and like this happened, and this happened, and then this is why, and then this, and then I'm like, oh, this.
You're like, wait, what?
I'm like, wait,
well, paint by number kind of thing, or
And this is not shot entirely basically in like one take
location?
scenes. Well, one take
right.
scenes. So it's like a few minutes each, basically, but they are like they're committed to the one take thing for these like scenes. They fade to black. You move on to the next one, and like toward the end, like when things are at a head. I was like, that's the take you decided to keep or whatever. Like, that's the one.
Oh, come on.
You guys should have redone that one.
That's a fucking onion.
Because it is interesting and it is dark and fucked up and like way darker and more fucked up than kind of what I expected it to go to. You get sort of like a vibe early on that it may go in like a pretty dark and fucked up way. But like this, I was like, oh shit, okay, they're going hard in this one. And I think it does leave you with a lot of I think it leaves you with a lot to like think about and chew on after the fact. It's not not a long movie, Brad. This is up your alley. It's like an hour and 25 minutes.
You just said it wasn't good.
But no, I liked the movie.
I'm teasing.
No, I did like it for sure, and I do recommend it. And I do think this is something that does not demand a theater experience. This is going to play super well at home.
Okay.
A chill on your sofa, and it is a slow burn in a sense because a lot of this is spent just sort of as the perspective of a ghost, like floating around the home basically and just like listening.
Idea. It's a neat idea.
It is. It's fascinating.
The execution might be like the novelty might wear off pretty quick. That's just what it kind of sounds like because they got a drone flying around just like checking stuff out.
The novelty never wore off for me. At first it was a little bit off-putting, but I really got behind it, and like the camera essentially is what it is, like really becomes a character in itself. It has like a personality to it. And you can see it sort of like duck into the closet and hide behind things, and nobody can see it and shit, but like it has like a life of its own, this like real personality, so it becomes a true character here. And I think just if some of the maybe like writing in the very end and just the performance from one particular character had not been so kind of almost goofy, like this would have worked even better for me. But this is definitely still a recommend, guys. And I think this would be it does deal with difficult subject matter in the end, but this would be a good like first horror film for like teens. As long as they have like maybe an adult there to help them process like the more difficult, very ending subject matter of it all.
Okay.
But yeah, it might give them some like thrills and chills. I didn't find this to be terribly suspenseful, other than as you start to like get toward the end, like what exactly is going on here? What's the intent of all of this? Where are we going? And you get that like little bit of thrill at the end, the slow burn payoff. And like I said, it leaves you just with some questions. And this would be a good movie to like discuss with people when it's over, because I don't think everything is exactly cut and dry. And I do kind of want to go back and see it again, just to see what I may have like missed or not picked up on, because I do still have like a couple of questions. It's certainly not a difficult film or hard to follow, but it leaves some things very open-ended and open to interpretation. So yeah, an interesting like January hit. So Companion and Presidents are breaking the January curse of like terrible films. So
well, like I said, I got my tickets to see Companion with a friend. That's
good. You'll have a great time.
Oh,
You will have a great time.
Have a good time at funerals.
And I think you would like Companion as well, Mr. Coach. It's very entertaining and fun and all of that. So yeah, recommended across the board for everyone. But yeah, that was what I watched this week, guys. So was that all okay? I thought it was all horror for a second. The Brutalist is not terrific in other ways, but not
The Brutalist has the title that sounds like it should be horror.
okay, right, exactly.
Horrific.
Like,
But yeah, with that, we're gonna move on to Mr. Coach. Mr. Coach, what did you watch this week, sir?
So I saw 3 movies, and one I would consider horrific.
Okay.
you had the Ific on there.
I saw Hard Truth, I saw Amelia Perez, and I saw Flight Risk.
Okay. I am
So it's up
scared
to
of
us
Flight
to guess
Risk.
which is the Ific.
I hope it's not Flight Risk. We'll see.
Dazzle us, Dave.
So, Flight Risk. A plane transports an air marshal accompanying a fugitive to trial. As they cross the Alaskan wilderness, tensions soar and trust is tested, as not everybody on board is who they seem. The opening to this film was a weird-looking CGI moose. And
I heard about the moose.
What?
And a running joke of who's going to wipe Topher Grace's butt.
Oh my God, help.
Okay.
Thanks,
This
Mel
Is it
Gibson.
handcuffed?
This movie was it's just batshit insane. Like, I get the idea of this. Like, listen, this should have been made for under 15 million. I don't know how much it was made, but it's basically like green screen, shaking plane,
Well,
people move in different seats.
then let's. I don't know why we're doing some Oscar talk. I don't know why they don't have Oscars for trailers, like best trailer, because the trailer with the music and everything, it looked good. Despite
It looks like it's
Marky
tension
Mark.
filled, and
despite Marky Mark's bad hairline.
but the
That
thing
he
is,
shaved.
You
as
really
it
shaved
goes,
that, yeah.
as it goes on, the stubble grows in. So it's a constant of
Really?
like bald shaved, bald stubble, bald shaved, bald stubble.
Oh no.
Come on, Mel.
Listen, Mel Gibson is a phenomenal director. Like,
Yeah.
Apocalypto
Yeah.
is one of the greatest chase movies ever.
Braveheart.
Like Braveheart is
real.
great, but I mean,
Yes.
it's very flawed, but it's great.
It's so great.
It's just, I'm going to go to the IMDb. There's 2 quotes that, like, from, usually like it'll be a bunch of quotes from the movie. So the 2 quotes are, "Y'all need a pilot," and "I don't want to be raped by the bald guy."
Oh my God.
Oh
help.
goodness.
Like, what are we doing here?
Not again.
Listen, Topher Grace is Topher Grace. I mean, like,
Yes.
listen, they got someone for the on the cheap. Mark Wahlberg obviously owes something to Mel Gibson. You know what the best thing about this movie is? It's
Yeah.
short.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a
And
bummer.
talk about tacked on endings. There's all these kind of tacked on endings. It's funny because it's so CGI heavy,
Mm.
and it's so, I wanted to actually enjoy it. I
Right.
put it on
Yeah.
to be mindfulness or mindless. Just I
Yeah.
didn't want to think about
Yeah,
it.
lose yourself in a
Popcorn
movie.
movie.
Yeah, just okay. Like evil villain, questionable middle guy, noble police. Okay, and it's meh.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah, that's a
best of
bummer.
meh.
It
Yeah.
is.
Like if it goes on streaming and it's new, yeah, why not? But like, just you have to just to see the moose.
Have a gum.
Just look at that moose.
It's in the first 3 minutes, and like, what movie am I watching? And the
Come
most
for the moose, stay for the hairline. Like,
yeah, come for the moose, stay for the headline. Topher gets raped.
oh my god.
Just silliness.
You just sold me a ticket, honestly.
See, that should have been the tagline. All right.
Yeah, come for the moose, stay for the hairline, enjoy the rape.
So this is not a recommend from you, I'm assuming.
No, it's
Okay.
not. I
Burn
mean,
it.
Is there a
Burn
midnight
it.
movie aspect to it?
no, because I think they were serious. Like Mark
Oh,
Wahlberg
no.
is in. He's in it.
Yep. In it to win it.
You know what? And I like Mark Wahlberg because
I do
he can
too.
pull off some really, really great performances.
She was
but
in
it
Boogie
just-
Nights, for God's sake. Like,
The
I mean,
Departed.
Boogie Nights, The Departed is amazing.
Yep.
The fight.
I Heart
Warden.
Huckabees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
he's good. The fighter.
I don't poo-poo him. I mean, like, listen, everybody. Anthony Hopkins did Transformers. I mean, like, I don't.
Yeah.
real.
Not gonna
You know, every
People like their Bentleys.
yeah.
So
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You can't shit on somebody for taking a paycheck. I feel
No,
like.
no, and that's
No.
the thing. Like,
And it is
I
Mel
can
Gibson
say-
at the end of the day. So
yeah, I can say like I didn't enjoy it. Like it didn't matter who was making it or anything like that. It's nothing to do with that. It's just he's done better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I hope he
Yeah.
returns to better.
okay.
The next
He will.
movie I saw is Hard Truths.
I want to see this. It's at my theater right now, but I had hard
Hard
decisions
Truth.
to make. So
Truths.
Truths, multiple truths.
Hard to say.
It is. Truth.
It's like the ongoing.
Hard truth.
What was the 30 Rock joke about the main character was in? She would always refer to the Jan Krakowski would always say, "Oh, my days when I did the roar juror."
Roller juror.
Rural.
Yeah, it's like when a word becomes a sound. You know?
right.
So the IMDb description of this is Hard Truths is an ongoing exploration of the contemporary world with a tragicomic study of human strengths and weaknesses.
That sounds great to me.
Was it that?
So this is the story of a miserable bitch.
Okay.
And
We all know her.
right. and
Is her name Nora?
so this is
Karen.
Shots fucking fired.
I say that in jest, but in all honesty, like it's an amazing performance. It is. I had
Mary
it here.
That beast.
Yes, and it is. Her and her sister live in England, and it's basically the way they were raised. Her sister is bubbly and joyful, and everything is fun and grace. And Pansy is the main character. She is miserable and just constantly just nip picking, and it's just that miserable person that we all know.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
and like her quotes, like, "What's a baby got pockets for? What is he going to have in his pockets?" Like she goes on a rant on pockets on babies, and like she's just ranting the whole time and like belittling
Bitching
her.
to bitch.
Yes, and like
Yeah.
belittling.
Hey, you know
her
what?
sons
I
and-
might not be not on board with her because she's right.
I mean, what do babies need
What are
pockets
babies?
for?
Yeah, what are they going to put in the pockets?
Even
Snacks
women
for
don't get
later?
pockets, so like maybe babies.
Nothing
shouldn't
good
have
goes
any.
in a baby's pocket.
No.
It's
That's the
all
quote
could
for
be a
this show.
crayon that will ruin the dryer. Food that will ruin the washer.
That's the name of this episode. Nothing good goes in a baby's pocket.
That is facts. You heard it here first, guys.
As I'm looking at my pockets, I can find it right here. Okay.
The thing is, this is a very well done movie. It examines, like, listen, we all deal with the darkness. Some of it, I've been accused of being negative before, and I have a negative streak every now and then. But
sure, me too.
It's called being human.
It slowly reveals of why she is this way, that she had to kind of raise her sister and the way that her mother was. And so she's afraid of germs and everything has to have its place and everything kind of has to have this perfect. And she's hit midlife now. And it's just finally just kind of collapsing on her. There's an amazing quote by her sister in a moment of just, like, oh,
don't let the bald guy rape me.
That's what they all say.
Real.
Well, it's actually
been
really
quoted at that.
It's really beautiful. It says,
"Sorry,
I don't understand you, but I love you."
And that's also very real life.
Sweet. Yeah,
that's kind of like this whole movie is you don't understand, but you just love. There is love for these people.
Sure,
and it's a very dynamic, well done dynamic. Listen, I don't think you need to rush out to the theater for this. I think you need to be in a certain frame of mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I do think it is a challenging movie to watch, but a very rewarding movie to watch once you've consumed it.
Okay. Cool.
So
I might hit that tomorrow. I'm off.
Yeah,
tomorrow,
I was kind of surprised that there was talks that she was maybe squeezed in for an Oscar nom, but I think we'll discuss that a little later.
Sure.
Cool.
Finally, and I prepared myself for this. I went headphones, I went TV, everything dark, phone nowhere near. Like, I went full in to watch Amelia Perez, and all I knew was the penis and vagina.
Penis to vagina. Microwave, refrigerator.
Now, the IMDb is not the description of the movie that I watched. I will say, IMDb says Amelia Perez follows 4 remarkable women in Mexico, each pursuing their own happiness. Okay. Cartel leader Amelia enlists unappreciated lawyer Rita to help fake her death so she can finally live. Oh, jeez. Authentically as her true self.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay. So the basic story that is all sung out is there is a lawyer played by Zoe Saldana that is contracted by a member of the cartel whose initial sight is almost comical, but at the same time disturbing. And then it is her job to set up the surgeries and what's needed to transition. At some point, their paths cross again, and almost as a guilty former cartel member,
one of those.
There is a tried redemption arc of the former cartel leader, who is now a woman, to reunite with his former wife and kids and start a foundation that fights against the brutality of the cartel. All with music, done by a Frenchman that doesn't know anything about Mexico.
Backs.
And some of the most batshit insane songs that I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Is there a soundtrack for this?
Dude, I did not hate this movie.
Yeah, me either, man. I liked it.
Okay.
I liked
it.
You just go for, listen, it was a roller coaster ride. It was
Oh,
an
yeah.
absolute like trip. My main thing, and we're going to talk about this later, is Zoe Saldana is not a supporting actress. She
Agreed.
is the lead.
Agreed.
She is first billed. She is first on the call sheet.
She has more screen time.
She has more screen time. The fact that she is considered a supporting actor is Hollywood bullshit.
Category fraud.
Yes. Selena Gomez was really good.
I thought so too. I thought so too. She's very memorable.
Yeah. And I will say, Carla Sofia Gascon
Yeah.
was great. That was her doing both roles, correct?
Yeah, because that makeup job at the beginning where it detransitions her basically back into a man for that role probably was triggering, like I would imagine, as someone who is trans.
Okay, that was my next question. Is that a trans
are they
woman?
a trans actor?
Yeah.
Okay.
She is.
Okay.
This would be the first trans woman who is nominated for a Best Actress Oscar.
Okay.
Right.
Or
Good
Best
for her.
Actress awards in general.
Mm-hmm.
The story is a little insane. I do like the idea that a man has to become a woman to feel any empathy to contradict the cartels.
Sure.
But I mean, there's that kind of underlying thing. Zoe Saldana does some amazing dancing and singing at the same time that almost comes off like a New Zealand haka at times. Where like she's just literally in your face and gesturing and acting like a serpent and an animal, and there's just no way to really describe this.
Yeah.
Would I elevate it to what it has been? No.
No, I agree.
But this is like that I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? Don't listen to me.
Fans of movies, man. You don't have to know. Right?
It's so weird because like Mexico is pissed about this movie. Trans people are pissed about this movie.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But then like award circuits are like Amelia Perez like lifting it up and shit. And it's kind of like what I think it's a white savior complex thing in my opinion.
Sure.
Really?
And I think these people think they're like doing something with this. And
they did a behind the scenes on it, and I watched it like 2 minutes of it, and I'm like, no, I need it out of this world. But like Zoe Saldana's like, the first time I read it, I'm like, this is impossible to film. And then the second time I read it, still wasn't possible to film.
Yeah.
And we did it. I don't know if it was possible when we did.
But it is engaging, and it's like it's hard to take your eyes off of it. And by the end of it, like Chris and I watched it together, and we turned to each other numerous times through this movie, and we're like, "What the fuck is happening? What is going on?" Because it's just so like batshit crazy, but it keeps it very entertaining, and it moves by quickly. And
then there was times where my subtitles were jumping from the bottom to the top, and then back down to the bottom. Okay, don't take what I said. Figure it out for yourself.
No, this is a very divisive.
You liked it. Yeah.
I think we're on the exact same page with this, Coach. Like, I think we feel basically about exactly the same about it. Where it's interesting, it's hard to not kind of admire in a way, but does it deserve the status that it's at right now?
Well, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But like,
James Cameron loved it though
3 times.
He also liked Terminator Dork Fate. Okay, come on.
Okay, right. Dork Fate. I'm dead.
To be perfectly fair.
Yeah.
And maybe you liked both of them. That's fine.
And that's why shit like this is so subjective. Like, I would never be mad at someone for disliking something that I love or liking something that I don't like. It's just, it's art at the end of the day, and everybody takes something personal and different away from it. And I'm in the middle on this one, basically, with the two sides of everything. But I think it's a recommend. Like, for me, it's a recommend. I think it's worth a watch if you care about like cinema and film. Like, if you hate a musical or hate any of the subject matter, then yeah, this is not a watch for you. But it's just such an audacious and ballsy film to make, and so fucking crazy that I think it's worth your time if you're a cinema lover.
Gotcha. But at the same time, I'd understand if you just turned it off.
Facts. Yeah, I agree with that.
Fair enough.
Is it on now? Do you have it on Plex? I know it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I have it on Plex, and it's on Netflix.
Good.
It's on
Because
Netflix?
I no longer have Netflix.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had Netflix for a while either.
They're getting close to losing me too.
Was that it for you, Mr. Coach?
That's it.
Okay.
That was my eclectic week of
This actually
Right.
was a very
depressing,
eclectic.
ridiculous fun.
I love it. So now I guess we're on to Mr. Brad Daddy. Mr. Brad Daddy,
Yes.
tell us what you watched this week, and I'm so excited for one of these. So
Well, Carly and have some crossover and such, so we'll leave that till after my two, and then you'll see. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, because no movies play around here, I sat around, I turned on Disney Plus, and I watched the first 2 episodes of that new Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's a Spider-Man cartoon.
Mhm.
It shows the early days of Spider-Man being Spider-Man. I've been watching Spider-Man cartoons since 1980,
Okay.
with Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and reruns of the 60s Amazing Spider-Man, the 90s Spider-Man, all of it. It all pretty much just rolls up to pretty cool superpowers, pretty cool villains, pretty cool supporting cast. And why ever this one is getting the absolute hate because of the supporting cast.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Well, the supporting cast has all been either gender swapped or race swapped or introduced to trans characters and various things. What it has done is kind of not introduced, just kind of rolled into the world we live in now.
Sure.
And angry white men don't like it.
I didn't realize any of this was happening.
Now,
somehow.
to be fair, I have not watched it myself, but what I have heard about it is that they have just not. It seems like Spider-Man is more just a reaction to everything around him, and he's not really the main character. But that's really what I've heard. I haven't watched it myself.
Like I said, he's a new Spider-Man. He doesn't have the full costume, everything, and there is situations going around him. He's an intern at Oscorp, not Stark Industries.
Mm-hmm.
His Aunt May is still kind of young and kind of hot.
Okay.
The animation,
problematic woods abound.
well, I mean, yeah, I think Marissa Tomei set the bar for Aunt May, and like I like it because
yeah, I mean,
Because
like,
Marissa
who likes
Tomei.
the comic one? I mean, just
well, she's 104.
I know.
So I mean, like, how much must have a mistake were your parents that your aunt is 104? Like, come on.
True.
So, and I mean, it's. I'm not gonna say it's not curing cancer. It's not the morality tale or anything like that. Yeah, Harry Osborn looks a little ambiguous. Is a person of color now, as is Norman Osborn. I don't even think Mary Jane has been introduced, but there's an Asian woman that's his best friend. And all anybody seems to be bitching about is where are all the white people? And I'm like, I see white people all the time.
Wait a minute. You went all 6 cents there.
No, seriously, I see white people.
Like outrage.
I see white, like, not for nothing. I'm seeing 4 white people right now. So
Okay,
it's
right.
like, come on.
I wish I had
I'm a white woman, though. Okay, I'm a minority.
Okay, right.
Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Slight my.
This is the time when I want my soundboard to have the blazing saddle. Where are the
Holy
white
space.
women?
Yeah. No, we're from all 4 corners of every ridiculous thing and stuff, but it's just I don't understand why people get so angry about something not new. It's not new.
It's a fictional character.
Not new. Spider-Man is not fucking new.
Yeah.
And there is 44,000 iterations of Spider-Man with his milquetoast cast. If you really need that you want to go read, watch, play, whatever. And I don't know.
Were people mad about Zendaya as his love interest, like with the
Oh,
Tom
yeah.
Holland ones?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
I loved the new Tom
What
Holland
did you
ones.
do
They
to
really
Mary
did.
Jane?
Oh God.
Aw.
You cast
No
an
Kirsten
actress.
Dunst.
You casted an actress.
Yeah, the irony is the other Spider-Man trilogy, they made the redhead blonde and the blonde redhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got to switch it up somehow, right?
So,
But everyone was okay because they're white. So you know,
I
no,
don't
it's
know. I still don't like Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane, but that's just me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think she's
Well,
too
I mean,
flat-chested, but she's a great actress.
Carly
round
has
face.
shots fired. This is a Kirsten Dunst hate
She's not
account.
booksome enough for me. I'm sorry.
Okay, right.
No. But I mean, you know what? The 2 episodes I watched were fun. The animation is smooth. The voice acting is on point, and it's fun because it's a fucking cartoon
Yeah.
about a guy that got bit by a spider and now can jump really high. So
Yeah.
stop it, everyone! Just stop it. Knock it off. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Luckily, I'm kind of marked safe from all of this because I never read the comics or any of that kind of shit. I know the basic gist of it and like the general of the characters and stuff. So like, I never go into these like it has to be this way or I'm going to be mad about it. I just kind of go for the ride and let it happen. And maybe I'm better off for that because
the person that's going to turn into the lizard is a woman now, and you can't have. There's no female lizards. I didn't know that. I failed science class, so
I
like
didn't know that either.
This is now a science
Is
podcast.
she a Dr. Connors though, or is she somebody else? Okay.
yeah, Dr. Kate instead of Kurt. So
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
oh no, like Peter
Well,
Parker's still.
I like
I don't
Doc
know.
Ock being a woman in the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. It was
Mhm.
good.
Yeah,
That's good.
It's you
I
know
like
what?
that one.
This story has been told a trillion times since.
you can't keep telling the same thing over and over.
Yeah,
again.
exactly.
That's why
It's-
nobody goes to see Robin Hood anymore.
That's it.
Right. Yeah,
Real.
Robin's kind of
We get another one every 5 years. Nobody cares.
likes it. Nobody
the
likes
same
King
thing.
Arthur either.
Yeah, same thing.
Like,
Same shit.
So if you can look past the hate,
Yeah.
my God, and if you like Spider-Man, watch it. If you want to hate on something, watch it. I don't fucking care.
Yeah. Hate watch it.
People are sad.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
They're real things to worry
I
about.
wish that was my biggest problem.
Facts.
Is
Oh
that-
my
is
god.
that I was
Facts.
angry. Yeah, that I was angry that they raised or gender swapped a C tier character in a comic book program.
what? Spider-Man is not a C tier. What the
No,
fuck?
no,
No,
but
no,
like
no,
his
Oh,
cast
the
The
is.
other
surrounding
I was about to
cast.
say.
Yeah.
I was about to say, okay.
19th on the call sheet. Wait a minute. An Amazing Spider-Man, 19th.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
Here's your pizza, sir. How dare you change the identity of the pizza man?
Well, you see, in Amazing Spider-Man 14, when I read this, and I have this copy, I actually bought the original art. He is actually a person of not color, white like me.
A white.
Fuck off.
White.
Yes. So, welcome to my TED Talk. Yeah. Piss off, everybody.
I liked it.
So tell us about the other whitest movie you've ever seen.
Brad liked it.
I loved it. Yeah, because it didn't have white people. So I'm
Okay, right.
now, so I actually went searching for a movie that caught my attention a long time ago, and for whatever reason, it kind of vanished from any streaming service, and through means, I'll just say that, I found it again, and that was the movie Ravenous, starring Guy Pearce and Robert Carlyle.
Mm-hmm.
How do you say his name? Is it Carlyle?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. About a Carly, you really love this movie. How do you actually tell exactly what's going on?
I mean,
It-
Guy
it's
Pearce is like it's set during the Mexican American War.
Yeah.
And Guy Pearce is like a disgraced lieutenant or whatever that has been sent to this outpost.
So, a
and-
soldier,
Yeah.
and
You
with
can
other
go.
with other soldiers that are sent to this disgraced outpost
Right.
because why not? And while there, they encounter a eccentric individual that is kind of rescued and saved, and he is actually a very high-ranking officer. But you'll never know it because he kind of goes a little batshit crazy for the first 35 minutes of the movie to the point that he's feral, he is disgusting, he is a monster, and that's Robert Carlyle. And I don't think he really gets enough praise
No.
for the performance. It turns out he is a cannibal. And the reason he's at this outpost is because he ate his platoon. Now, in eating his platoon, it has cured his tuberculosis, his malnourishment, and various things. And he believes it gives him power to consume other humans. Now,
What my
Guy
coworkers
Pearce.
say
Well, it
about
does.
goji
He's a
berries.
Wendigo.
Well,
He's
yeah,
turned into a Wendigo.
there is that.
What is that? Oh no!
Spoiler
Why did we
alert.
switch? What happened?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
We've all we've
Musical
switched
chairs.
places, guys.
We've shifted.
This is the cube. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
What dangerous things they were going to like slice and dice us.
The cube. My God.
that was very exciting. I
A
enjoyed
good movie
it.
too.
Yeah, I like you.
We have to start over.
No, oh God, help no.
But yeah, it's creepy as all hell. The performances are amazing, and it just kind of, you really have no idea where it's going, but when it gets there, you're not mad.
No.
You know, because any other, if the performance weren't as spot on as they were, it would almost seem cheap. It would
Right.
almost seem like lazy writing to have the resolution that they did. But I don't know. I just, like I said, it was one of those movies that I wanted to go see in the theater, never did. Tried to find it years later when you try and think about, oh yeah, I remember that.
Sure.
Couldn't find it. Found it last weekend and just watched it and just kind of laughed. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah. Now you're
Right?
glad you did. Hell yeah.
It was
Oh, I'm
so good.
so glad I did. It
What did you think of the music?
was fantastic.
Do you know who did it?
Safe answer is Trent Reznor.
No.
And Atticus
No,
Ross
it was Damon Albarn, and I forgot the other composer.
from Blur.
But yep, from Blur and Gorillaz. Yep.
A lot of like string shriek
Yep.
kind of instruments, and you got what I just found out pre-show was the guy from E.T. who plays
Henry Thomas. Hell
He
yeah.
was licking me.
He was licking me. The perfect terrified coward.
I haven't heard that since Pride 96. Holy shit.
And
hate
it wasn't a
myself for that.
complaint screech. It was not a complaint.
He was happy.
He stopped
No.
licking me. Like he's very that.
He was licking me, and then high fives all around. You know. But yeah, Ravenous. If you have the means, check it out because, well, I'll say they don't make them like that anymore, and they never will again.
They
Okay.
will not.
The
So
other movie I
good.
saw today, which Carly and I have some crossover, so we'll get to it, is Baby Girl. So,
Oh, shit.
Carly, take it away.
Oh
And
God, I have to go first.
Oh.
no.
Why's
No,
your
talk
garbage?
talk about your movies, and then we'll talk about Baby Girl because we've all seen it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, the only other movie that I watched was, and I've already watched this again, but I really wanted to watch it again. It's called The Guest.
So good.
And it came out in 2014. It's directed by Adam Wingard, stars Dan Stevens, Micah Monroe, and this is just kind of a batshit crazy movie. I don't want to give too much away, so I'll just read the IMDb blurb. It's basically a soldier introduces himself to the family, claiming to be a friend of their son who died in action. After the young man is welcomed into their home, a series of accidental deaths seem to be connected to his presence. And oh man, I'm sorry. I haven't watched this movie in a couple of years, and
It's
I'm
been a
really
while for
glad
me,
that
too.
I'm really glad that I rewatched it because I love Dan Stevens. I want to say this is probably the first movie that I ever saw with him in it.
Me too.
I also think it's the first movie that I ever saw with Micah Monroe.
Okay.
I think maybe I can't remember if this came out before or after It Follows.
I think this was before.
Okay. So, oh my God. And they both look hot as fuck in the movie. They're
Yeah.
both very, very sexy. You may know Adam Wingard, the director from You're Next. He also did Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. He did the other one, Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
The Blair Witch, the newer one. So
I
you
actually
may
thought
know
that was
him.
pretty decent.
Really, I haven't seen that.
It's not bad.
So, but You're Next. I definitely liked You're Next.
Love it. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
Alright.
yeah, it's got great music. Again, I don't want to give too much away. It's kind of a thriller. Goes kind of batshit crazy.
Has kind of like an 80s-y vibe to it in a way.
It does. It's set around Halloween. It's a really great movie to watch during Halloween. Micah Monroe's hair looks fantastic in every scene that she's in. I want her hair. Of course, Dan Stevens is hot. He is so hot in the movie. But and again, the music is great. I would definitely recommend buying it. Again, don't want to give too much away. Just a really fun ride. It's kind of has elements of Halloween mixed with Terminator, and I just it's so good. I love it.
Neither of you Coach Brad, you have not seen
Have you guys
this?
seen it?
Oh
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
not.
It's like the
Okay.
first thing after
Okay.
he bailed from
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
Okay.
Okay.
So and I remember it was, taking PC culture to task, but I actually really enjoyed this.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
I think
the
this is-
scene with the principal is phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, I love that. He's just and the bar scene too.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to watch it. But he's Dan Stevens is fantastic. He's so charismatic. You know that he's not a good guy, but you're like, fuck, he is so fucking cool.
But I still love him, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I think
it's really
this often
great.
gets lumped in with horror as well, which I think is a stretch.
Kind of see a little bit. Yeah, it's
a
more
little
of a
bit,
thriller.
but yeah,
But
for sure.
yeah. But yeah. And then the only other movie that I watched was Baby Girl.
Baby girl.
Mm-hmm. And
Nicole
Brad, do you want
Kidman.
to take that away?
Do it,
You
Brad.
go
Alright.
first.
I'll go first.
Men first.
Men first, please. Yeah, Baby Girl about an executive who has an intern in which they share a power dynamic exchange, kind of complementary to a very sophisticated BDSM relationship.
Mhm.
Nothing to do with the whips and chains or anything
No.
like that. It is very cerebral.
Yeah,
But-
very mental for sure.
Seeing what I saw is very well done and very respectful within the lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, I'm in the lifestyle and such, and it is given enough credence that it's, if you were looking for a 50 Shades of Grey, this is not
This
it.
is not.
No, not at all.
I would have been very disappointed if this was
Right?
that, for sure.
I mean, if you want that, go see 50 Shades of Grey or go see The Matrix Part 3, because they pull that off pretty well as well.
Or what was the bad Rosie O'Donnell?
Oh hell, I don't know.
Exit to Eden. Exit to Eden.
Oh,
Exit
okay.
to Eden.
Yeah.
Aw.
If you're looking for like a King Cromp, this is not it. But what it is a psychological look at dominance and submission
Mhm.
through consent, non-consent, ultimate consent, and just if you are given so much power, I say you, whatever, there is a faction of the popularity that needs to have a bit of submission just to balance out that release.
Sure.
In which where Nicole Kidman, the high-powered executive, who has that fucking plastic surgery that a lot of women are getting now, and makes their lips look weird.
Yeah.
I still love her,
she
though.
she still looks stunning,
Yeah.
and her performance is amazing.
Yes.
But she just gives power to this intern, a young man who is not very remarkable.
No, I agree.
I mean, he's attractive, but as far as anything, they kind of fall into place together. It's almost like happenstance that it just works. There's no nefarious plan or plot that he is hatching to make her his submissive or anything, but
And you see them try to work all of that out
Yeah.
like throughout
It
the whole
just-
entire thing. Like what they're
and
doing.
that was one of my favorite scenes, the fact that
Mhm.
they said, okay, we need to set some ground rules. Do we want to do this? Yeah, I want to do this. I want to continue this. And even her talk with her husband, who is Antonio Banderas,
Looking
my
fine as
goodness.
hell.
the
Right?
person that you never ever want to cheat on because it's Antonio fucking Banderas, Jesus
Mm.
Christ. But well, she was horribly cruel with that fucking one scene.
Oh God, that was so
Oh.
rough. I was like, oh my God.
No, I watched
But-
this at work as I was working on, ironically enough, the CNC table. And I was biting my palm when she declared that she had never been sexually satisfied.
Oh.
She never came.
Oh,
She never
I
came.
died.
I never had an
I
orgasm.
can't
Yes.
come with you. I was
I
like,
can't
oh
come
my
with you.
God. I was
It
like,
was a stake
damn,
in the
that's
heart
fucking
to everybody in the
tragic.
theater.
Oh my God. I was biting my palm.
Ooh.
I'm like,
it's
I
just
felt
such
so
a hell of a
sorry for
shame.
her. Like, why would you not tell your husband well before that? Like, I
I was
get
about to
it.
say, they
but
got a couple
geez.
kids. They've been
Right?
in this. Like,
Well, this is her also
Right.
exploring like what it is that actually like does get her off and what gets
Exactly.
her excited and
and-
all that kind of shit. And she's never felt she's been able to express that ever. And even
Yes.
if you're with someone and for a long time, I think there are many cases out there where you're not always comfortable discussing that for some weird reason, even though we've been inside each other, like you're afraid to like discuss
Hard.
that kind of shit.
yeah, because it's
And I
too
thought it felt
personal.
very real.
Well, you
no,
can
it
tell
was
she's got
very
that
real.
shame, you know?
Mhm.
And her talking to, was it the therapist that she's, or was it her friend? I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Which part?
She was kind of admitting that there is, oh, I'm sorry, no, she was talking to her husband, Antonio,
Mhm.
that there is a deviance in her.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh,
That
I'm
she's
sorry.
felt ever since she was young.
talking about going to therapy. She tried to get it expelled through therapy.
Sure.
And unless you are open to the lifestyle or curious about it, it's something that you can't really explain.
Mhm.
Sure.
And so that's why I was kind of glad that Antonio Banderas was not happy with the outcome. And he said the intern, he was unremarkable. The scenes were fun. The music was fantastic.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
The needle
And-
drops were great.
The
Yes.
montages were
Yeah.
freaking great. And I think it treated the subject matter very respectfully. So for me, this is an absolute buy.
I'll definitely be watching this. I've seen it twice, but I'll be watching
Yeah.
this again for sure.
I wish I could have gotten my husband to watch it with me. He watched about 30 minutes of it and
It was like
that was about it. Yeah. He
Okay.
just
It's
couldn't do anymore.
definitely not for everybody.
He doesn't
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I think what his biggest issue was the fact that the infidelity portion of it, and I get
Okay,
it,
sure.
but it's just
Yeah.
like it's just a movie. Come on, it's
That's it.
basically a warning, you know.
Mhm.
So it's I don't know. I don't feel like it glorified infidelity in the slightest.
No, I agree
No,
with that.
because at the end of it, there was some proper guilt.
Yeah.
She didn't
Although
like. She didn't like.
no, well,
Here's the thing,
she
here's
does
something.
terrible things in the movie. She's not a good person. Don't.
But
don't
she
get me wrong.
grapples
I
with this
still-
through the whole entire
yes,
thing. Like
yes,
she
and I
really grapples
still
with what she's doing.
totally felt, you know, I totally felt for her. Lots of empathy, but obviously she went about it totally wrong. But
Sure.
I get it. You know, she's been in a 19-year relationship without being able to come with her lover. I mean, that's
Yeah.
pretty messed up.
Yeah.
But
Awful.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. But the only thing that I would say that I really didn't enjoy about the movie is that I felt like there really weren't any stakes at the end. It was kind of like, woohoo, everything's good. Like,
Yeah.
that's
I
the
feel
only
that.
part that I didn't like because I didn't really feel like that was realistic. But
Well,
I get
no,
that the movie was more of like a warning.
her
And,
horrified husband
yeah.
just kind of,
yeah.
okay, this is what you need me to be. I can be it.
Yeah.
But that's not him.
Yeah.
So that's him.
I felt so bad for her when she tried to bring that up in the beginning too. She was like, "Can
Yeah.
you do this?" He's like, "No, it makes me feel like a villain." It's like, but that's what she wants,
That's-
man.
I'm okay with
That's what
feeling like a
she
villain if I
needs.
have
He
to.
needs the
It's
villain.
like,
Yeah.
aw. And then of course she's embarrassed, so she can't talk about it again and
Sure.
shameful. So it's just, I still
Well,
liked
it-
it though. I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It is a cautionary tale for more or less like talk.
Yes.
Yeah,
Communication is key.
agreed.
Talk.
Please.
I've learned that in my life as an adult.
Because-
Like, don't be ashamed. We've come in each other, so
Right.
we can talk about sex.
If
It's
you-
fine.
No, here's the thing.
It's
If you are in a long-term relationship, that's the easy part because you have seen each
Right.
other at your absolutely worst. Okay? So like find
And
out
people
shit-
aren't mind readers. They don't
Yes,
know what
you
you
have
want
to
unless you
talk.
tell them.
find shit out about people because stuff evolves, and if it's not your thing, it doesn't matter. There is workarounds.
Yeah, you can figure it out for sure.
You
I
can
agree
get
with
yourself
that
an
100%.
intern.
Okay,
hairless,
right,
a hairless intern.
a hairless intern. He is sort of like
There's a
twink boy in
website.
way.
Did you say
There-
hairless or hairless?
Careless whispers.
Oh my god.
A careless, hairless intern.
Aw.
That is
Yeah, he was very smooth. I don't normally
very
like
smooth.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was alopecia from the eyebrows down.
Yeah, I like chest hair.
I had to
That's
give him
me.
alopecia, then gave him hair.
Well, I think we all know that he's not my type at all. However, I think
Yes.
the dynamic here, in a way, was this is. I'm also not exactly a kink person. I'm hardly like super
Yeah.
vanilla or whatever, but this is
Mhm.
not my
Yeah, right.
lifestyle per se. But there is something very sexy and
Yes.
interesting about watching people discover what it is that
Explore.
they like and want
Right.
and what they need for themselves to feel joy and happiness and like live a full life, at least as far as like sexually.
And all that, the idea of confidence without any pushback.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
just, like the confidence to do the things he does, and her not necessarily rebuking or pushing against that.
And I definitely
Yeah.
see what
Hot.
Carly was saying too. Like in the very end, there really were
Mhm.
not really many stakes here. But I think leading up to that, there are a lot of
Yes.
questions about like where is this going to go? Because like she's putting a lot on the line to have this relationship with this man
Mhm.
Well,
that
that was
could
her kink.
endanger her career. I mean, her family for sure, as we see that kind of
that was also her kink. The fact
Yeah.
that there
Right.
needed to be
yes.
Has to
stakes
The
be.
danger.
Yep,
and
the danger of it.
And
The-
when she realized that she has the power she has, she was able to navigate with the young lady threatening her and stuff. And she's like, "Fuck you,"
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I
it was-
love that part.
Yeah, I did too.
Fuck you. You
I
want
want
oh
to do
Jesus?
that, I pay for it.
Yes. If you need me to be, what is it? If I want to be humiliated, I'll pay good money for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Hell yeah,
Love
I
that.
love that. I was
Yeah.
like,
Just
get
take
it,
the power
bitch. You
away.
fucking go.
Take the
And I
power
thought the
away.
very final shot of this movie, or the very final like sequence of her like envisioning herself essentially like as a dog. I know a lot of women seem to have an issue with that particularly, but honestly, like who are you to shame what this person may envision
True.
or want or
No,
find sexy
it's-
for themselves?
It's a pet
and-
fantasy. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily
That
have to be
part-
a dog.
I will say that part did kind of rub me the wrong way because she
Okay.
was being intimate with her husband at that
Yeah,
time.
I feel
That
that.
was kind of like,
But
did we really have
was
to show that? But I mean, I get it.
That kind of
Yeah.
skated it because was she fantasizing about being a dog, or was it just
Right. Of just being.
was it just
submissive.
Yeah, being
flashing?
submissive.
Right.
Was it
yeah,
was
I
it
get it.
just flashing, showing him in his new life, and he owns a dog?
Yeah. And I don't think this is new for people in general, at least like adults, like that sometimes a lot of people in power or powerful positions and at a
Yes.
job or whatever it may be do
Like to
kind of
have a
fantasize about
different-
surrendering
Yes.
You
to
need to surrender.
Yeah.
It's a human
That's true.
balance. People, I don't know. Not everyone needs it.
No.
You do, go find it.
Yeah. And I was told by someone in my
Safe
life.
and consensually, please.
Yes.
And I was told by someone in my life, and Brad can probably verify this as true or false, who has been around the kink community some, that the portrayal here was actually very spot on to it. Like the moments where they cuddle afterward and like have intimate, like quiet moments and stuff is very like true
Real.
of the kink community, because like you've put so much out there and you've laid so much like out on the line with a person that you trust for the night, that sort of like that kind of like coming back together and like
Yeah.
And I loved how awkward it was.
The
Because they're
aftermath
both
is
discovering
awkward.
it, you know.
The aftermath is awkward, but you're both there, and you need to. Okay, let's debrief.
Yeah,
because we want to do this again.
Yeah,
Because I found somebody that clicks with me.
We're adults and we're horny.
Was he an adult?
That's right.
Right. And I
He was
will
young.
say, I think, and I know this is about to come up too, like I think that this performance from Nicole Kidman is incredible. I think it is
agree.
absolutely Oscar worthy and awards worthy in every single way. So her being omitted from this is
Yeah, that's kind of rough. I don't understand why she was. Dude, especially that
one.
scene where he shows up with the assistant at the
Yeah.
birthday
Oh
party.
my
Oh God, when she like puts his forehead on his forehead, she's like, you're mine. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
I don't like
fuck.
you seeing other women.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
damn, that's a good performance.
It was a great movie all
Yeah.
around.
I
I'm
agree.
glad I watched it.